breastfeeding and diet, it's such a difficult topic to go to, and I'll explain why. So in the past, when we had research assessing the quality of the breast milk related to the quality of the diet of the mother, we found the magic of the nature. We found that no matter what the mother eats, the breast milk is always perfect for the child. So even if you get less calories or get less fat or less antioxidants, your body actually will give the good stuff to your baby, and then you'll suffer. So if you have a deficiency, probably you'll suffer more from that deficiency, but the baby will get the perfect quality of milk. And indeed, this was very important discussion and very important argument to use for many decades when we wanted to advocate for breastfeeding. We wanted to help all women to breastfeed, and we kept saying that even if you are a smoking mother, it's better to breastfeed your child than not. Even if you eat junk all day, pizzas and bacon all day, you still better to breastfeed your child than not. And that was very important discussion all these years. Unfortunately, the pollution crisis comes in that discussion and, really makes things a little complicated here. Because many of the toxic chemicals seem to bioaccumulate into the food chain, So you start from the chemicals which are in the plants, then the first first food step eats that, then you have the bigger fish, it's the smaller fish, and then we are usually the third or fourth level of food chain, but our children are fed from us. So they are the next level of food chain. So through breast milk, we can have a very big bioaccumulation, like 10 times, sometimes 100 times, sometimes, of the toxic chemicals that run through our bodies. And exactly because the babies are so much smaller than us, and they are so much more vulnerable, they are in the age that, these toxic chemicals have wider effects and more serious effects on their health, then that's a really big problem. This problem started being studied from dioxin era. We started studying the dioxins in the breast milk, and we saw that they are really high, and there was a discussion there. Should we, keep supporting mothers that have very high dioxin level in their bodies to breastfeed or not? Unfortunately, here there is the political correctness that comes in play. So I would say that I have breastfed for 7 continuous years. I have 2 kids, both of them breastfed till natural weaning, 3.5 and almost 4 years old. So I'm a big advocate. I'm a breastfeeding mom and a big advocate of breastfeeding. But unfortunately, when you try to address this question, like if you have a mom nowadays that eats a heavy animal-based diet, a lot of meat, a lot of eggs, a lot of animal fat, a lot of fish, whatever, and you test breast milk, we should go to this discussion. We should start research on risk assessment on whether this breast milk has some dangers, serious dangers for the kids. My scientific instinct, we don't have data for that. The first risk assessment on contaminants versus nutrients conference happened last year, 2022, from European Food Safety Authority. That was the first ever. So you understand that we have
it's
a
very
lot
risky.
of road down to have a risk assessment on breastfeeding infants. But my scientific, intuition says that it's still much better to breastfeed your child, even if you have a heavily animal-based diet and you are really exposed to toxic chemicals. But I also think that to empower women with free choice and with informed choice, we need to educate them. So I totally disagree with some breastfeeding educators, breastfeeding, advocates that say, don't talk about this because if you say that, women will not breastfeed. No, I mean, we cannot, shut down the discussion, informed choice, like educate the mothers because of political correctness. So it's,
Of course, yeah, I'm with you here. Yeah,
very tough discussion here.
I think people should know the data, and then we should act as there are adults who around us, and they can make choices when they know, and when there is an information, and there is empowerment, and there is opportunity to make this. Choices. So basically, this level of dioxin that you were talking about in the milk, it comes mostly from the meat-based diet, right?
Yes, so interesting here. Dioxins, are chemicals that are formed in the air, and they are formed by chemical reactions of other pollutants. So we don't create them; they are created on themselves. But more than 95%, some sources says more than 97%. This is a WHO source that I'm saying. More than 95% of exposure to dioxins come from animal-based food.
Okay, so that's also a good piece of knowledge. I mean, like if you want to, even if we don't have enough data, but we know that dioxins are not good for the health, especially for the very small child. That's a very simple step to take. Just eat less meat during breastfeeding. That might be already helpful.